another question that we have is, will Erica Mena and Safaree have kids and get married? Safaree feels like this relationship, he's taking it one day at a time. So he's not thinking too far ahead because his greatest challenge is sorrow. He wanted to have a baby with Nicki Minaj, and I can feel her energy in this reading. And it upsets him that that didn't come to fruition. And so when it comes to having a child, he's still pessimistic. He still wants it. He's still longing for the past. Like, I want this. I want that. I wish it could have been this way. And because this relationship isn't coming in the package that he wants it, he's not trying to think that far ahead. His house of personal, he hides that from her. He's hiding his feelings. He kind of hates that he didn't have that baby with her. And I'm saying that Nicki Minaj definitely had been pregnant by him before, but he can't let that go. He's someone that hurts and feels very deeply when things don't go his way. And so it leads him to, it's just a back and forth. And he goes back and forth with it. He's like, if she gets pregnant, it's because we didn't intend to. Nevertheless, I would like for Erica Mena to, just be here for me until I figure it out. His hidden advantage is the devil. So pretty much Erica Mena is going to accept the relationship for what it is. And she wants to be married, or she wants to be in a long-term relationship more than she wants to have a baby. I don't think that he would have a problem marrying her, in let's say a year, or being engaged to her, but having a child, he's not exactly sure if that's what he wants to do. But he is in love with Erica Mena, and he feels like Erica Mena is, for all intents and purposes, he feels like Erica Mena, is a soulmate, to him. And he feels like, they have a purpose together. He wouldn't, deny that. I see where the relationship is right now. I see it continuing as is, as of right now. And I think for the next 7 months is going to be as is. They're going to continue dating, getting to know each other, and try to take things slowly. I also think that, he's still reeling over the breakup and not being able to have a child with Nicki. And once he's able to let that go, he'll have space for he and Erica Menon's plans to grow more with one another. Okay, so we're going to shuffle the tarot again. And the next questions that we have, did he write any of Nicki Minaj's songs? Did he cheat on Nicki Minaj with prostitutes and steal credit cards? And is his hairline going to grow back? Okay, so the next question that we have is, did Safaree write any of Nicki Minaj's songs? The devil card is his greatest personal challenge. So this is saying that this is saying one of two things. it's either this card in this position is either saying that Safaree wrote the songs and he doesn't want to admit it to the public, or it's saying that he never got to write any songs for her and he's admitted it to the public. Either way, he wants to keep things a mystery because he has such a deep appreciation for Nicki Minaj that he would leave things up in the air out of a bitterness towards the relationship, but he won't give a direct answer because he doesn't want to harm her career. So there's part of him that still feels like they have a friendship. Now in his personal truth and hidden answers, I get the strength card. So he feels like he inspired Nicki Minaj. That's what he would say. He would say, I inspired her to do some things, and I helped her to find the flow. I introduced her to this word. He would not outright say that he wrote any of her songs. He would just say, I assisted her, I helped her to produce, and he would say something like, I was her hype man, and I said something and she, I may have said something and she took it and turned it into her own. Just because I gave her a lemon and she made the lemonade does not mean that that's my lemonade. That's how he says it, because he's someone that when he gets into a relationship with you, he tries to be friends with you, and even if after the relationship, things go sour or go south, he's still going to hold on to the secrets in the relationship. What needs to be organized is that he follows the rules. So it's like I would say he has not written for Nicki Minaj according to the three cards. Now, when we pull these other three, things may change, but according to what I see here in his house of organization, I get rules and structure. So, he's helped her to, organize her lyrics. He's given her feedback on certain things, and she took the initiative to swap things around. So he may have said, I think you should put this verse here, or you should switch this bar here, or maybe you should say it this way. But he really believed in her talent and ability. In his house of hidden advantages, what he will say is that he inspired some of her songs. He would admit that some of the songs that she's written have been about him, even when they were working together, and they were about the past, their tumultuous things that happened in their past. He would admit to that. He feels like if he says that he wrote Nicki Minaj's lyrics, he feels very much like it would hurt his success. He feels like, her fan base or, the general public would feel as though he's trying to, undermine her career, undermine the intellectuality of a woman and her aptitude in a male-dominated industry. He doesn't want to do that. He firmly, he really respects her womanhood, so he won't say that. And finally, with the outcome, I see him just trying to when people ask him about it, he just tries to move through it. He's like, no, I'm not getting into that. All I'm going to say to you is that I helped her. I inspired her. Things that she's rapped are based off of something I may have said, but I never wrote her lyrics. So he himself has never just sat down and just written anything hardcore for Nicki Minaj. And he's told himself that he hasn't, and he would tell the general public that he hasn't. Okay, so the next question that I have is, did he cheat on Nicki Minaj with prostitutes and steal credit cards? Okay, because this question has two parts to it, I've just got to go ahead and look at and see what they're telling me, because it's true. It's true. The card for Valor is here. Is his greatest spiritual challenge, which is him, him moving with his phallus and achieving a certain amount of fame, but trying to sleep with beautiful women that would keep it a secret. And I see, and the reason that Nicki Minaj brings up credit cards is because she traced the credit cards payments back to the prostitutes. And so in his house of personal truth and answers is the card for oppression. So he suppressed a lot of his feelings, a lot of his sexual feelings, and wanting to get those things out. Feeling like he couldn't tell Nicki that he wanted, to explore, that he wanted a little something more, because he felt like it was going to end the relationship. And at the same time, she paid on his credit cards. You know what I'm saying? She would pay on his credit cards and help him out, and and make sure that he was good. But she also, kept track of things. I'm seeing somebody bringing it to Nicki and saying, "Hey, look at this financial statement and look at this payment to a PayPal. What is that?" And then she goes and investigates, checks through emails, and finds out more. So, and what needs to be organized, I get the Princess of Cups. So this is essentially saying here that when it comes to Safaree and his emotions, he has a tendency to lie. What he denies his feelings of what he's, and if he feels intimidated by someone, he'll say he's flattered, or that he really likes this person. If he is horny and he wants to deal with somebody else, he will say, "No, baby, I'm really into you." But he does this to convince himself that it's true, even though it's not. And so in his house of hidden advantages, he's coming up as a Princess of Wands, which here is saying that, yeah, he when he was caught, he owned up to it. And he won't deny it because he knows it's true. And he wants to be as honest as he can with her, but it's like, he's the person that's sorry after he gets caught. Now, the black hole is over the best path to take, and that's what just gave it all away. It was like, okay, it's true. And it's like, after what's done in the dark is going to come to light. So what's in you is going to come out of you. And these accusations are true. The outcome, the card for dominion. So even when Nicki Minaj found out about it, she forgave him and he continued to do it. So what did it matter? That's one thing that he knew was, I've done this. She found it out. She hasn't left me. Yes, she's angry, but it's, we can still work on it and move forward with it. All right. Another question that we have: is his hairline going to grow back? Okay, we're just gonna talk about the outcome. Okay, I'm just be straight up honest with you. The Queen of Discs that you see here, this is Erica Mena. Okay, this is Erica Mena. And what's funny is that Erica Mena is showing up as the Princess of Discs, the Empress, but then her actions are the star. So she's been praying for a baby. And she wants to be a mother. She's been praying for a baby and a man that's gonna, a man that's financially stable, because she's not as financially stable as she needs to be, but she wants to deal with a man that has some sort of stability. And believe me, Safaree has stability because of residual income, and also because his name is still attached to Nicki Minaj. So I'm saying that he gets opportunities and gigs here and there, and they're much more frequent than Erica Mena. Erica Mena wants to have a baby. And we'll do a card pull on Erica Mena, definitely. But in regards to this hairline thing, the spirits are pretty much like, here's what we'll tell you. We ain't finna talk about the hairline because that question's stupid. But what we will tell you is that Erica Mena want to have a baby by him. She's praying for it, and she's hoping that by having a baby by him that she can get her own show. Now, with that being said, the hairline ain't coming back. And it is what it is. And if anything, with the pregnancy card coming up, it means that Erica Mena, if she does get pregnant by him, she's probably going to have a son, and that son is gonna have Safaree's hairline. Okay. Now I want to know. Where does Erica Mena think the relationship is going, and then I want to know, what does Nicki Minaj think of the relationship between Safaree and Erica Mena. Um, it's funny because Erica Mena's perspective of things is completely different than Safaree's. It's almost in conflict with Safaree's perspective. But these are Erica Mena's inner feelings. The black hole comes up as her inner spiritual challenges. So she's hiding. She's fearful that this won't work for her, and she's actually fearful of a lot of the public criticizing her for the relationship as well. And she's trying to stand strong and endure the criticism, but it's actually really getting to her. And she's very scared that the relationship may not work out. She also is afraid that luck may not be on her side and that his eyes may wander. And he's revealed to her and told the truth about his problems with fidelity, and she's kind of scared that that's how she's going to end up in a situation like Nicki Minaj and walk away more burned than Nicki was, and unable for her career to recover from it and her emotions to recover. What she's trying to do is focused on the fact that they can be successful together. She's really just trying to leave all of her emotions out of it and say, okay, look, we can work this out. We can do some business together. We can co-partner with one another on a project, so on and so forth. But with her coming up as the Prince of Swords and what needs to be organized, she's always in her head, and she has a plan. But she has a plan for them, which is, again, to have a baby, but she doesn't see that happening. And that's actually bringing her a lot of stress. But that's her hidden advantage, is that if she can stress him out and get him to have pity on her, he's going to give her the baby because he's a people pleaser. And so she's slowly just chipping away at his exterior so that she can get to his soft insides, and which is his heart, and get him to do that. Right now she's just fucking the shit out of him. To be honest with you, she's literally just trying to fuck him all the time. She's very attractive, but she loves having sex with him. And she would probably say it's the best sex that she's ever had. And he's the best man that she's ever had. And I'm not saying like the best man, like she's like, he's a good dude. I like him. He's really sweet. He's everything that I've looked for at this age. With the card for debauchery coming out underneath the Prince of Swords, and this being the outcome, it means some fuckery's afoot. And it's specifically like her not trusting him. And Erica Mena may end up stepping out on him because she fears that he's going to step out on her. And she's very squeamish, really scared. So I'm going to try to clarify. What is the debauchery? She feels like they're going to make a lot of money together and that they'll be able to stay in the public eye, but she has to just secure the bag, but she really wants to be in love. But there's like this hesitance around like, okay, the one thing that I know is that we're going to make money together, but I don't know where things are going in this relationship. But I wanted this man and I love this man, but it's not enough. She doesn't have enough security. He's not giving her enough security. He's not saying, yeah, this is what I want. I want this baby. And what she knows is that he's still hurt over not being able to have a baby by Nicki Minaj, and she wants him to make room for her. Erica Menon wants Safaree to make room for her to enter into his life in a more meaningful way. Okay, now I'm going to ask the question, which is, what does Nicki Minaj think of the relationship with Safaree and Erica Mena? What? 3 cards. Okay, so Nicki Minaj doesn't want their relationship to work. Actually, she wants to see it fail, fall, crumble. She wants to see him heartbroken. She wants to see him get used by her. She does not want it to work. And if anything, she doesn't care about Erica Mena. She just wants Erica Mena and Safaree to end up broken up. And she wants it to be very public. I get the card for the High Priestess. So Nicki Minaj's intuition is telling her this shit ain't gonna work. You finna find out a whole bunch of bullshit about him. You can't make it work with him. He's always gonna be a bum. That's how I hear her saying it. And so the card for victory is over the personal truth and inner answers. Meaning that Nicki Minaj is kind of like, this ain't gonna work. I hope it doesn't work, and I'm praying that it doesn't work. He don't deserve for it to work. It should not work. She doesn't want to see him happy, and it's because she feels she wants him to cheat on her. That's the other thing. She's like, I hope he sticks his dick in other bitches, and that she finds out. And she wouldn't mind seeing Safaree catch something too. And in her house of hidden advantages, Nicki Minaj's stubbornness. So Nicki Minaj feels like as long as she thinks negative thoughts about the relationship will fail. She's like, look, I will text him out of the blue from a random number and be like, this shit gonna fail. She will have her fans send him nasty messages and discourage him from being in the relationship as well. But the thing is I get the card for adjustment. So Nicki Minaj is trying to adjust to the idea of Safaree being happy. And she's like, I want him to be happy. But deep down inside, she's like, fuck his happiness. All right, the outcome, I get the card for sorrow. So she's hoping that he's just going to be heartbroken, devastated, crying on his knees about it. She does not want this relationship to work at the expense of Safaree. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to ask a quick question to the lower. Okay, we're going to ask a question to the lower, and we're going to ask, what do Safaree's ancestors think of this relationship with Erica Mena? They speak as one. They say, be careful because you will find yourself giving D. One second, D. They're saying you will find yourself not giving a damn. Period. So Safaree, at the end of all this, at the end of this relationship, when it's over, all said and done, Safaree is going to be his ancestors are pretty much like, and if he listens to this video, your ancestors are saying that when everything is said and done, because this relationship you all don't have direction on where you both wanted to go and it's not on the same page, she's going to want this thing to advance much more quickly than you do, and you're going to end up not giving a damn. They're still speaking. The lower say, make it your S N they're saying to Safaree, make it your SN Okay, they're talking a lot. They're saying that Safaree basically needs to make it. They're saying Safaree needs to make it a SNO. They're suggesting that an exclamation point. They're saying make it. They're saying to Safaree, make it so that not SN, but it was SO. Make it so you send her the truth and give her more respect. So what do you all mean by make it so? We mean make it work, period. They're saying to him that he needs to make it work. They're saying be serious. Again, they're like, look, don't play around with this. They're like, make it so and tell her the truth. Make it work. Tell her the truth about what it is that you want. And don't play around with her feelings, because they're actually not okay with this relationship being so casual. And it's because he wants to have, it's like Safaree needs emotional healing, and this is only going to further distract him from his emotional healing. They're still speaking. They have a last message. We want him to start a writing business, and want him to avoid making her a wife, period. Because this relationship will only hinder him and will lead him further into depression. Exclamation point. He acts like a child when he is aroused, or when he receives sincere interest from women, period. So I would say to Safaree, make it so and tell the truth, man. Those are the two things that you got. If you don't want this to go that far, make it so and do it the right way. Okay. And just be honest with yourself, be honest with her about where things are going, because y'all are having two totally different experiences of what's going on, and she's really putting her heart into it. And you got 1 foot in the water, 1 foot out the water, and you got a blindfold on, and she's like, baby, do you want to go down the street? And you're like, okay, cool, but you don't really even know where you're going. And so what's going to end up happening, she's going to end up taking you down the street. You take the blindfold off. You like, shit, I thought I had 1 foot in the water, 1 foot out the water, but I got both feet on the ground. And I think that the reality is going to be too much for you, brother. All right. Thank you for tuning in to the reading produced by Black Spectrum Network. Click the subscribe button and the bell button to get the latest updates on this channel. You can purchase a private psychic reading by going to blackspectrumnetwork.com. If you want spiritual guidance to learn how to work with your ancestors, or are interested in deepening your spiritual experiences, subscribe to our Patreon. You can get these and other videos at least 1 week ahead of their YouTube release date. That's patreon.com/Black Spectrum Network. Before I go, I leave you with these words of wisdom from the rapper Dreezy. Gave mercy to these hoes. What would Jesus do? I'm your reader, Nexo, and the truth is always collaborative.
So fuel my fire, take me higher, I'll be your liar too. Cause when we're here, there's nothing better than the skyline.